right, guys. Hello. Welcome. I am so excited that you're here. Welcome to the Get Some More Mastering Productivity Workshop. Here we go. It's an honor to be here, and I'm grateful for your time today. I promise that it won't be wasted. Are you ready? We're going to master time management, accelerate productivity, and whip procrastination. Does that sound good? There is so much value in what I'm about to share today. Let's get started with a pop quiz. There's only 4 questions. No worries. Okay. True or false? Procrastination is just a harmless delay tactic and doesn't significantly impact my future. False. Procrastination is literally stealing from your future self. True or false? Staying in the same place I am now is a scary thought. True. Stagnation is uncomfortable and causes frustration. True or false? Comfort is often the greatest barrier to progress. True. Extraordinary is never, repeat, never achieved in your comfort zone. Last one. True or false? I have the power to design a life I truly love, full of purpose and growth. True. Each thought and action that we take can sow the seeds of success or not. Okay. Did you get them all right? These questions might have stirred up some emotions on how important growth is in life. If you got most of them right, then this workshop will be perfect for you. So stick around. You will gain so much value. If you got most of them wrong, then maybe this workshop won't be a good fit, because this is for people who recognize that a change is needed in their lives and they are ready to take action. I want to be respectful of your time. So are you ready to go? All right, participate fully. Get your supplies ready, your paper, markers, pens, tape. If you can't do all the work now, just listen and watch the replay later. You have permission to be as creative as you want. I give you some examples, but do it the way that you feel most comfortable. Make it classy, have fun. First, common challenges when it comes to productivity and planning. Can you relate to having felt any of these mental crap dragons? Mental crap dragons. Have you ever felt these things? Self-doubt. I question whether I truly have what it takes to achieve my big goals. Fear of failure. What if I invest time and effort into planning and I don't succeed? Have you ever felt this? Look, if you failed in the past, it's not your fault. There's a lot of information out there and it can be confusing, and the information overload can keep you from success. But this is different. What you're going to learn today will give you certainty. And I promise you one thing, if you don't plan, you definitely won't hit your goal. The least you can do is give yourself a chance. Okay, there's some more mental crap dragons. Have you ever said these things to yourself? Overwhelmed. The thought of creating and following a structured plan feels too complex. Resistance to change. I'm comfortable with my current routine and I don't have time to add more stuff. Have you ever told yourself these things? Can we agree that we're all on a level playing field against Father Time? It keeps ticking whether we take action or not. So if you've been concerned in the past that you can't do this, let me put that fear to rest. Yes, you can. You just need the right person to explain it. I know you have a dream deep down to make an impact, and that's what I'm here for, to help you make that happen. These examples are all mental crap and lies that we are guilty of telling ourselves and keep us stuck. Next, let's take a look at the cycle of crap. This is the cycle of crap. First, you do some learning, maybe new habit, you do some of it, you don't see immediate results, then you stop, stall, or pivot your actions, then you get frustrated and procrastinate, and then you're back up to doing the learning and the new habit thing again. Anybody ever felt this way? Can you relate? I am fired up to share this system because it works. I used to be stuck in the cycle of crap, and I can say today that I don't procrastinate, I don't make excuses, and I intentionally take action every day. Reality check. Past failures don't define future capabilities. With the right system, planning doesn't mean complexity. It's about breaking tasks into manageable, actionable steps, which I'm going to share with you today. 6 steps to craft your action plan. L.I.G.H.T.S. L-I-G-H.T.S. The L.I.G.H.T.S planning system is a 14-week productivity system that guides you in going after your next big goal. I'm going to share that today. holistically and using a balanced approach. The light system will help you stay focused and execute actions to achieve your goal in the next season of your life. This plan is repeatable. You can apply it to any goal, and the structure will essentially force procrastination out of your routines and shift your focus to action. If I can deliver that, would it be helpful? Yes? I don't want to talk about myself because this workshop is for you. But why am I doing this? Uh-oh. Sorry. Why am I doing this? Well, again, my name is Samantha. I'm the founder of Get Some More. I'm a mom. I'm a Christian. I'm an entrepreneur. And years ago, I had a desire to leave a legacy behind and bust out of mediocrity and thrive, just not survive. So, on this quest, I have been obsessed with planning, productivity, mindset, and growth. See, years ago, when I realized I was an entrepreneur, I was all excited and I wanted to do big things. But I had a paradigm and mindset that was whack. I was stuck and conditioned in a 9 to 5 scarcity mindset. I drank daily. And although I didn't get drunk, I wasted copious amounts of time doing things that did not sow the seeds of goodness. Bottom line is, I was coming from a deficit. I wanted my new ideas to have me already living the life over here, but I was still hanging on to my old habits and old ways over here. Can you relate? I thought I was just born a procrastinator. Like procrastination was a fixed genetic character trait that I possessed. That's how ridiculous I was. Like, why is this program not working already? I'm stuck. Why is this taking so long? Literally juggling bills, working full time, raising kids, and trying to start a business. I was stuck and I had absolutely no time. Then one day, I was reading in bed and it was such a monumental moment that my heart starts racing and I get a little teary eyed. And I was grateful to have seen this simple truth. If I kept doing what I was doing, then I would keep getting the same crappy results. I would keep getting the same crappy results. Wow. I had to sacrifice things to level up. I had to make a choice to stay stuck or move forward. I had to do right now what my future self is doing. Do now what my highest self does. Even in the moment when when my bank account was low, or I was stuck in the cycle of crap, and I had mental crap dragons at every corner, I had to start acting and doing as my highest self would do. Little did I know that moment, even though I had heard those things 1,000 times before, it finally clicked and it would change everything. Making the choice to be now who my highest self was, despite my circumstances, was easy and simple and transformational. When I got serious, that's when I really, really, really got serious about being intentional with my life. I invested in myself, and my productivity went from being stuck in the cycle of crap to accelerating like a rocket. I have spent thousands of dollars and thousands of hours learning, getting coaching, being mentored by top performers. I've done courses and programs and tested systems and trying new methods. And what you're about to learn today is a beautiful mixture of all of these principles and that top performers can agree on are essential for success. And after putting it all together and testing it, making it just right, I hit my first goal in only 9 weeks. And then I repeated the entire system over and over again myself just to prove that it works in every situation. I do not waste time today. I can assure you that procrastination is a mindset block and that we can all work on in the 14-week boot camp. But this life's planning system will take you from being a consumer to a producer, a stressed out drifter with excuses, to a leader with intention. That is, if you want it bad enough and you are willing to do the work for a season. Make sure that your goal is worth it. Step 1, leading with vision. In this step, we're going to go over our big goal and our why. Okay, so take out a piece of paper and you're going to write your 1-year big goal. Did you have a New Year's resolution that has gone to the wayside? Do you have a big goal that you've been wanting to achieve for the last few years, but it just seems always out of reach? Write it down on a piece of paper. Later on, you can type it up if you want to. It needs to be strategic, measurable, and inspiring to get there. A big goal, something you can reach in 1 year. My goal, I'll share with you, is to reach people who would be helped by my course and close a real estate deal. All right, now that goal is now your 12-week goal. This might seem crazy, taking a 12-month goal and making it 90 days, but if I told you that from the start, would you have tried to justify making it smaller? That's not how we grow, is it? Top performers like Grant Cardone say 10x. So that's how we're going to get uncomfortable and excited about that big goal. This system is called a 14-week boot camp because I give 1 week in the beginning to prepare, 12 weeks in the middle to execute, and 1 week at the end to analyze. This takes you on a sprint for the next season to achieve your big goal. I am so excited to share this. It really can change your productivity. All right, we're going to hang it up, okay? I know you don't want to, but hear me out, okay? We're going to hang this up. Hang it in a place that you can see every day. Now, I know that you're not going to want to do this. So hear me out, okay? You need to place this in somewhere that you're going to see every day, like an office wall, a fridge, a bedroom, and you want to skip this step. You will think it looks tacky. My spouse won't like it. My friends and housekeeper will see it. That's embarrassing. Here's another true or false. You and those people would be better off if you hit that goal. True? Then stop it. Don't skip this step. Daily interaction is essential. Be as creative and classy as you want. You can get fun paper, go to Staples, get cool matching cardstock, type it, make the pages colorful, make it yours, and have fun. Here's another tip. If you're embarrassed, then learning to communicate your big goal to close people is the best way to gain clarity on it and really be able to deliver value to others. Believe me, I've tried to do this without hanging it up, and it fails every time. You have to be able to see it frequently in your day-to-day. I highly recommend the book 12-Week Year by Brian P. Moran and Michael Lennington. This system has some of the principles from that book, so I mention it. However, what you learn today is also mixed with several other concepts from other systems as well. But this book is a game changer on mindset and execution. Hang it up. All right. We're going to do the next exercise and dive into why. So get out another piece of paper. You're going to ask yourself, why do you want to reach that goal? Why? Then ask yourself again and again. So Dean Graziosi teaches this in 7 Layers Deep exercise in his book, Millionaire Success Habits. But we're going to do it now. Have you done this before? Why are you driven? Why do you get up after you take a gut punch from life? Okay? Why? I'm going to share my last 3 why. So why numbers 5, 6, and 7, I'll share with you guys. You got to ask yourself over and over and over again until you get to the core of why you want that big goal. Here's some of my reasons. To control my time and energy. Why? So I can use my time for good and creative projects. Why? To have freedom to spread light in the world as I feel called. Hence the name Lights. This is how our highest self is. The whys represent your best self. If you plan to repeat the system, I recommend that you get a binder. Keep all the material from previous weeks in. You only need to do this step once every cycle. Step 2, integrating holistic habits. As promised, I told you I would show you a fresh perspective on holistic habits that can help align your current self with your highest self, because it's not all about money. Remember your why in this section. We're going to dive deep into the holistic balance side of planning, my favorite part. But Samantha, we just made a 12-week goal. What are you talking about? Yes, that one requires strategic planning, which I promise we will dive deep into in the other steps. But these are holistic goals. They are micro actions that keep you on your game. I promise I'll tie it all together. In this step, we're going to identify important areas of our life. We're going to create a habit tracker to align and learn how to beat procrastination. All right, take out a piece of paper and write me in the middle. And then all around it, we're going to write the important areas of our life. These are universal. You can change them, take them out, do whatever you want to do with these. These are just universal ideas to get your mind going. Okay? Mental, spiritual, physical, creativity, business, money, relationships with family, and kids and spouse, and relationship with family and friends. These are important areas of your life. All right. We're going to come up with 1 to 3 actions that you can take in each area that will help you be more balanced and holistic. I'm going to read some examples just to give you some ideas and get the wheels turning. Write whatever you want to see more of in your life. 1 to 3 actions you can add to your morning or evening routines or even weekends to make you feel good and help you sow the seeds of goodness. Okay, so for spiritual, you could read the Bible, go to church, volunteer. For physical, you could exercise, eat less sugar. For relationships with spouse and kids, this one you could do anything for, but sending love, being grateful. For relationships with family and friends, you could remember birthdays, call or text, just let them know that you care. For mental, this could be reading, journaling, meditating. For creativity, things like painting, building, crafting, doing projects. For money, you could record your spending, set time to learn about it. And in business, making money work for you, you could follow time boxes and set deadlines. We are going to make a habit tracker. So the habits that you listed can most likely fit into morning or evening routines. That's the way it fits best into your day without too much interruption. And don't get overwhelmed at all this. Remember, you're intentionally designing a life that you love right now. We are being intentional. What good is all of that stuffed in a drawer? No, we are going to make a habit tracker. So you get out a lined piece of paper and a marker. I'll show you mine. Simply take the important areas of your life and list out a couple actions that you would like to see incorporated into your days, even just 1 to 3 times a week. Put it on here if you want to make it a habit. As the weeks go on, you put checks and zeros. Instead of wasting time scrolling and drifting along, this habit tracker will help whip procrastination every day. Even if you can't hit your big goals for the day because there was an accident on the highway or the dog pooped on the couch or one of your kids threw up in the car, you can still squeeze in these small wins. They give you tiny hits of dopamine and gratification for doing good actions. My example here on the screen was taken from a holiday week. And you can see there's several zeros, but those are just areas of opportunity, right? It keeps the positive habits at the front of my mind. Don't let tracking zeros trip you up. Emotions run high with this, which I will cover more in step 6. If you are incorporating new habits, your mind and your paradigm will put up resistance and pull you back. But push through, because even a few checks on this habit tracker will put you ahead of most of the population because you are aware and intentional. Keep going. You will see huge improvements compounded over time. We're going to hang this up too. We're going to tape it up under our big goal. And each week, this gets changed out for a fresh one. You keep the old one in a binder. It's courageous to hang it up because it's a level of accountability. Other people in your house will see it, and you don't want them to ask questions if you get a bunch of zeros. That's happened to me before. Be empowered. Hang it up. All right. Bonus list of books for further reading. While you were finishing that up, here is a list of bonus books. Maybe you've read these two and you can agree that they are good. As you can see, I've studied deeply every book I mentioned here. I've read several times through, and I love reading resources. So you can read any or all of these books I recommend so that you can see for yourself that the principles in the system are as tight as they can be. Or you can save thousands of hours and trust me and read them later at your own pace. It's up to you, but I'm going to be sharing them. They're all phenomenal. That's why I'm mentioning so many books. Step 3, giving value. In this step, we're going to go over why you should care about the law of compensation and craft our weekly action plans. Bob Proctor's. Now, one definition that changed my perspective of everything I do with entrepreneurship is Bob Proctor's definition of the law of compensation. Bob Proctor's definition of the law of compensation is so monumental that it gets a spot on this planning workshop. His law states, well, it's not his law, it's his definition of the law of compensation. These are universal laws, okay? The amount of money that you receive is directly related to these 3 factors: the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty in replacing you. Okay, so why is this so huge? When I first started, I started with affiliate marketing. I thought that was the way to go. And for some people, it is. But for me, not so much. And let me explain. I was trying to help people learn how to use technology products that they buy on Amazon and give tips and tricks for using the technology, using blogs and videos and linking it up to Amazon. Technically speaking, I made it work, but it was slow and frustrating, and I couldn't understand why I wasn't a millionaire yet. When I finally came across this definition, it smacked me like a sack of rocks swinging from a crane. The need for what I did was low because Amazon didn't need help selling Ring video doorbells. My ability to do it was low because I was new to affiliate marketing, and the difficulty in replacing me was easy because people could just Google what I was trying to teach. Bam! I had to shift my whole idea. Now, I do real estate investing to fix up properties, and I created a system to help people increase productivity to achieve their goals in 90 days using a simple, repeatable system grounded in timeless principles that changed my life, and it can help to change others' lives as well. You see the shift? Got to keep value at the center of everything we do. All right, so keep in mind while you are planning the need for what you do. How can you add more value? Your ability to do it. How can you sharpen your skills to stay excellent? Use your habit tracker. And the difficulty in replacing you. What can you do to be the best? Can you see how if we are aware of this, then we work with the laws, then our efforts will be accelerated and we will see more growth. Yes? All right, next exercise. We're going to do 12 weeks at a glance. Week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I want you guys to do this in rapid fire. Don't even think about it. Definitely don't overthink about it. Just quickly write down quick things that need to be done. Now, completely forget it. Why? Trust me when I say I've tried to plan all 12 weeks at once, and it was a disaster and exhausting. We're going to work on week 1. I also tried to plan the first 6 weeks at once, and same thing, disaster and exhausting. So just work this 1 to 2 weeks at a time. Why is that? You know what massive action needs to take place. So focus on that 1 to 2 weeks out to execute on the work. Planning farther than that is exhausting because it's speculative and it's a waste of time because things will change. This is an action plan. So we need actionable steps, not just speculation and ideas. This is different from your 5-year goal or your 10-year plan. This is a 90-day sprint to hit a certain goal. Action. Okay, so you're going to take out a piece of paper and write week 1 at the top. What you list here must be action steps, not results. That way you stay in control. I like to use colored paper for this. Here's mine now. You can be as creative as you want because this will be displayed You can do the work now on just like scratch piece of paper and do the work now quickly. And then later on, you can go back and make it on pretty paper and do whatever you want to class it up. Make it something that you enjoy interacting with every day. All right. Again, what you list here must be action steps and not results. Tips here. Add the date range at the top. This adds clarity and urgency. Each week and day are important in this sprint. That's what it is. It's a sprint. I want to reiterate that again. That's what we were talking about when I was using the mentality of the 12 weeks at a glance, because this is where our brains like to go logically. But the problem is that when you try to think about week 4, week 6, week 8, you were doing you were only coming up with the results and not the actions at that point. So it's not helpful. The actions are under your control. So you see, I needed to shift my actions. And that is why we don't try to use 12 weeks at a glance mentality and why this system works so well. You are in complete control of your actions. And if you are executing the right actions, you will see results. Absolutely. If you don't, then you have to adjust the actions for the next week to see the results. That's why it's so impactful. Is this helping anyone? Okay. We're going to hang this up also, your weekly plan. You're going to hang it up too, but we're going to use it in the next 2 steps. So keep it close by before you go and hang it up. Can we agree that time stops for no one? Hours turn into days, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and months turn into years. And whether you do the work or not, whether you accomplish all you wanted to or not, time keeps going. The reason people drift in life and take years to accomplish big dreams is because we waste so much time. It's not enough to just acknowledge it either. It's a full commitment to change your lifestyle to align with creating a life that you love. That's the real picture. That's the beauty of the L.I.G.H.T.S planning system. You don't have to make that commitment now. I'm simply sharing this so that you have a fresh perspective. There's a lot of resistance and emotions that will come up. And because your old paradigm wants to hold you back in comfort and safety, which I'm prepared to help you overcome if you become goal architects and the Get Some More 14-week boot camp. Okay, so what have we gone over so far? We've gone over leading with vision. We've identified our big goal and our why. Under I, integrating holistic habits, we've identified important areas of our life and we've created a habit tracker. And G, giving value. We know why we want to work with the law of compensation and we've created our week 1 action plan. I love it. Essential strategies coming up for how to plan your daily activities like a champion. So don't go anywhere. But right now, stand up, stretch, go get something to drink, go to the bathroom. I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes. Let's go. Can you see how this is starting to come together? Would you be more likely to do the work if you were on a weekly ownership call discussing your progress? Yes? Well, don't worry. I'm going to get to the next 3 steps. You will have the complete system by the end of this workshop that you can repeat over and over. Can you imagine that most of your mental crap dragons would be slayed if you had the power of proximity to a group? I invite you to the Get Some More 14-week boot camp to become a goal architect or an artist, whichever one you prefer. I know this system will get you across the finish line and achieving your goal. What I'm sharing with you today has transformed my life. I went from spinning my wheels, wasting my time, procrastinating, and letting months go by without getting hardly any work done, yet feeling like I was always busy and tired, to achieving my first big goal in only 9 weeks using this system I am teaching you now. This system works for a variety of different goals and is sustainable through holidays and illnesses, and I'm confident that it can help you also. 14-week boot camp. Is it a training course? Yes, and more. Is it a mastermind collab? Yes, partly, and that's the magic. Is it coaching? Yes, and we empower and encourage each other. The boot camp is not for people who are not fully committed, who can't take ownership of their actions, or who find excuses for everything. But it is for people who are ready to actually achieve their goal in the next season. Hard truth. Some people plan family vacations with itineraries, but don't take the effort to plan their lives. We agree time stops for no one. Yes? And don't you think it's interesting how a short term sprint can keep us motivated to push through? When it's a full year, it seems long and cumbersome. Did your New Year's resolution stick? But that's what I love about this. It's a sprint if you want it to be, or it's a lifestyle if you embrace it. I've made it a lifestyle, which is why I can teach it to you and share it with you like this. I have navigated the pitfalls and trimmed it down to be sustainable week after week, even during the holidays. And trust me, it works. Can you see how doing this with a group has the power to accelerate you and give you momentum? I want you to become goal architects or artists, whichever you prefer. I like the more creativity, so I like artists better, but some people are more logical and they might like the word architect better. Either way, when you join, you get a certificate and start your journey towards achieving your goals. When you graduate and achieve your goal, you will elevate your status to a maverick elite. This definition is so empowering. Please let me share. The definition of a maverick elite is a person who is considered a high achieving individual within their field, but also stands out as independent and unconventional in their thinking and actions. Essentially, combining the qualities of being an elite performer with a maverick spirit, not conforming to the norm. They are often seen as innovative leaders who push boundaries and challenge the status quo while still delivering exceptional results. Isn't that empowering? You will elevate your status to a maverick elite by completing the boot camp and achieving your goal. Look, I know it sounds corny, but honestly, the psychological shift in identity helps you keep that momentum. Start as a goal architect, end as a maverick elite. GAME. Because we are playing the game of life like champions. When you graduate, I will literally send you a certificate and a t-shirt that says Maverick Elite on it. Okay? Now, more on that later. Let's get moving on to the next 3 steps. The most strategic ones. We're going to create daily action plans and scorecards. Get it? Step 4, honor your progress. In this step, we're going to learn one of the secrets to certainty and create our scorecard in just minutes. Honor your progress. Why tracking everything is essential. No. I hated tracking when I first started. When I first started my entrepreneur journey, I joined a mentorship program and I paid thousands of dollars to be part of these calls with these top performers in the industry. Okay. This is a true story, sadly enough, and maybe you can relate. And I would come to the calls and say things like, it's not working. I'm doing a lot of calls and I'm spending so much time. They were so patient with the newbie like me. And they said, how many calls and how many hours? And I didn't know. But they would tell me their numbers. They tracked everything. They told me to track my KPIs, key performance indicators, on a spreadsheet. I did it, but I hated it. At the time, it was hard to see the benefits. it showed light on the fact that I was way more unproductive than I felt. And I thought I had made so many calls, and I actually had only maybe dialed like 10, and it completely eliminated all of my excuses. I was using the numbers told the truth. Then I showed up to calls differently. And if I had had a low numbers week, I listened to others and I took notes. And I realized that top performers track everything, everything. Then do more of what works and adjust what doesn't. And then I finally began to see the benefits. But I had to do it my way because spreadsheets suck for me. So I'm going to share a simple and fun method for you. But first, let me share this analogy that changed my whole perspective on tracking. Okay. Why do some people like sports? Here we go with sports and games and scorecards, tying it all together, I promise. Because there are statistics on everything, every team and every player. They use those stats to bet on players in games with certainty. Players are paid based on statistics. So what? So your big goal is high level and you want to be confident and know for certain that you're going to hit it. Honor your progress by keeping track of your actions. Be able to bet on yourself with certainty. That's why this works. If you execute your weekly actions at 80% each week, what are your chances of hitting your goal? The secret to certainty is keeping track. Do you agree that you'll become a different person in the journey to achieving your big goal? Do you agree to be intentional? It takes clear vision and action. You take ownership of your actions, and we're going to make our first weekly scorecard. Simply take what you have written on week 1 and make each thing measurable. So you're going to take out another piece of paper. You're going to write week 1 scorecard at the top. And you're just going to take everything from your weekly action plan here and make each thing measurable over here. This beats procrastination every day because you will want to mark things off of your scorecard. Remember, you can type this or make it classy and fun. This works for me because it's simple. In the 14-week boot camp, we will be willing to share our scorecards each week in the community and during the ownership calls for an added layer of accountability. And there's extra video trainings inside of the boot camp. This step goes a little bit deeper than I have time for today on this workshop, but trust that if you plan to keep track this way, you will see the benefits. Each week, you can literally see the actions that you did or did not take. Evaluate, adjust, and prepare to do it again the next week because time doesn't stop, right? So we have to pick up the pace and simply be willing to manage our time like a CEO manages a company. Do they will guess on numbers and willy-nilly lead their company? Absolutely not. So why do so many people find it acceptable to waste time consuming on autopilot and then complain that they don't have success? The L.I.G.H.T.S planning system is designed to keep you intentionally and holistically on track. Whether you become a goal architect or not, you can repeat this system and it works. We're going to hang it up. That's what we're going to do. This hanging up your scorecard right next to the habit tracker. You can make it pretty later, but don't skip this step. You can keep the previous weeks in a binder. If you become a goal architect in the 14-week boot camp, then you will share these each week with a group. And that's powerful. And the boot camp community exposes you to people who are growth minded and high achievers. So you will have added accountability and ownership during your sprint. Can you see that the secret to certainty now? If you perform at 80% or higher each week, week after week, you're certainly going to be closer to your 12-week goal than if you didn't do it. Step 5, time boxing for impact. In this step, we're going to talk about how to make your daily schedule a success and why time boxing and deep work are essential. Nothing worth value is created in shallow work. It's from the Deep Work book by Carl Newport. Excuse me? What? All that talk about giving value in step 3. And if all we do is create in shallow work, then we won't be giving value to others. The best value and your result will be affected. Do you understand what that means? Working distracted and multitasking is shallow work. Listen, I hated time boxing when I first started. Time blocking. Your whole day is It's exhausting. And you don't, if you miss one thing, then the whole day is messed up. And that is not what this step is. Okay? Time boxing is different. And I'll show you. Maybe you are starting to warm up to the idea. We are going to structure our day with dedicated time boxes to maximize deep, impactful work. What I started noticing is if I actually used the time undistracted for deep work, then I would get more work done faster. Duh. No, but really, I would box off an hour, and if I worked undistracted, it may only take me 20 minutes. The magic is using the whole hour to get more work done. Swallow frogs, as Mark Twain put it. I have to admit, this does not work for your whole day. It only really works for the big stuff. This step is strategic, and it can trip you up if you aren't prepared for some of the uphill battles that you are inevitably going to encounter. And no, I'm not trying to scare you. Actually, in another step, I'm going to give you many tips as I can on how to avoid that resistance if you choose to repeat the system on your own. So you have as many tools as you can to be prepared. So just stick with me. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this in 3 simple steps. So take out 2 pages to make your daily action plans. The first one is going to have 3 blocks, and the second one is going to have 4 blocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay? See, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay? Now, you're going to take everything from your weekly action plan and give it a day. You're going to write all of the practices and appointments and obligations that need to be done that week. And everything from your weekly action plan is going to be given a day. Attempt to write these things in the order of the day they'll occur. For instance, if it's in the morning, write it near the top. If it's in the evening, write it near the bottom of the day. You want things to be neat and in order. So take what's on your weekly action plan and put each thing into your daily schedule. Focus heavy in the beginning of the week. And again, I go deeper into strategies and tactics on this in the course, in the boot camp. All right. In step 2, we're going to write times. So for the things that you have, your obligations and practices, you already know the times for those. We're going to give times to the things on our action plan. Make time for deep, impactful work to be done on the tasks listed on your weekly action plan. Make sure everything from your action plan gets a place and a time. Big tip here. Make sure you are planning your stuff at the time of day that you are feeling most like at your best. This is common sense, right? The book At Your Best by Carey Nieuwhof goes into great detail on this topic, but let me use an example from my own experience with this, okay? I had more time in the evening, so I would schedule deep work from 7 to 9 p.m. What happened was I would struggle, I would get distracted, I would claw my way through the work and feel tired. But when I did that same work on another day from 10 to 12, I was more creative. I was in flow. I got more work done faster and much more impactful. So just a reminder, if you have something that requires you to use a lot of brain power, then schedule it at a time of day that you feel energetic and you're not tired, okay? And I believe me, this step goes a little bit deeper again. Only time block box what's on your weekly action plan. Okay. So the next step 3, we're going to fill in the important tasks that are flexible with time. Be aware of things that need to be done and require time to do them. In the beginning, I made this mistake and I missed several time boxes because I was just trying to use this schedule to be for only my weekly action plan. But I wasn't accounting for the errands and the work around the house and the stuff that still needs to get done that takes up time. Maybe you've heard of this analogy of filling the jar. First, you put in the big rocks, and then the gravel, and then the sand, and then the water. And only in that order will it all fit. The stuff in steps 1 and 2 can be the big rocks and the gravel. And the stuff in step 3 is the sand and the water. Now, question I get a lot here. Let's keep going. Make sure everything from your week will get done by what you have scheduled. Check that you gave yourself time for each thing that needs done. Break projects into smaller chunks. Okay, here's the question I get most here. Is your habit tracker stuff going to go on these daily action plans? The short answer is no, but let me explain. The habit tracker is for things that can be added into morning and evening routines or even a commute. In the first 6 weeks, if you need to, you can add them here. If you go to the gym, for instance, you might want to add that because it will take a chunk of time. You can see that this schedule, I put times by my morning and evening routines just to build them in, to make it a solid part of the schedule. Do what you need to do for the first 6 weeks. And then after that, you can trim some of the things off that you don't need here anymore. Are you guys seeing the value in this? Basically, it's like a day in a glance. Again, there's more strategies for this in the course, and there's videos in the boot camp. You can make this work for you, however this works for you. And we're going to hang it up. Yep, we're going to hang it up. We're going to hang it up. Here we go. Oh, no. Okay. So let me ask you a question. If you followed what I showed you in L, leading with vision, and having a concrete goal in step 1, and in step 2, integrating holistic habits using a habit tracker, and then using the perspective of giving value and creating a weekly action plan, making it all measurable in step H with scorecard, and then in T for time boxing, your biggest projects on your daily action plans, do you think you could successfully achieve your big goal? You have 2 choices. Left on your own, with your own effort, you can set and reach some very interesting goals. You can repeat this system each week by yourself. Be accountable to yourself and overcome resistance on your own. Time stops for no one. So if you don't do the work, time keeps going, but nothing gets done. Right? Is there a better way? Together. What if I played an active role in you implementing your system? Could I empower you through the resistance and mental crap dragons that keep you stuck in the cycle of crap? Do I have your permission to share this with you for just a couple of minutes while you finish up your daily schedules? Yes. Awesome. Thank you. Get some more 14-week boot camp. What you get. Weekly ownership calls are the bread and butter. On the weekly ownership calls, I'm on a call live with you guys for about an hour where we share our scorecards, celebrate the people with hundreds, and support those who didn't do so well, all while doing our planning for the week. The weekly calls will be focused on ownership and progress. I don't like to use the word accountability, but you will have a lot of that by showing up. Knowing that you are going to share your scorecard with a group is a level of accountability and ownership that will motivate most people to get their butts moving even during a tough week. Luckily, this boot camp is only a sprint for a season. So the weekly ownership calls are super important. That's a value of at least $2,000. Not to mention the priceless extras, like achieving your goal. That alone would be enough, but you will have accountability and develop ownership, leadership skills, discipline, self control. Get rid of those bad habits and add good ones and live healthier, improve relationships. But I haven't even gotten started. There's so much more. Inside the community. Okay, so when you join the boot camp, you get immediate access to the private community. It's off of social media and it's a space where you can interact with other goal architects or artists who are sharing similar progress and struggles going after their goal. There is power in proximity and power in multiple people who share a collective vision for how to live more balanced and holistic lives. Inside the community is where you find everything else that the boot camp has to offer. So far, the value is at least $3,000, but let me share the exciting extras inside of the community. There is an entire course inside that covers each of the 6 steps in great detail. There's a video training and written instructions, motivational audio trainings for each lesson. It really covers all of it. Each of the 6 steps has its own lesson. So, in case the live ownership calls or the community or the other goal architects can't answer your question, you have 24/7 on demand access to the course. This is a total value of at least $5,000, but you won't pay anywhere near that. Now, not to mention the priceless extras, like achieving your goal, living a more balanced and holistic and intentional life. But I couldn't stop there because there's more inside the course to share. There's even more tools inside for your speed and convenience. Like I said, I've done this entire 14-week system several times, and I want to give you as much as possible to succeed. So, what else? There are templates in there. Okay. So, today you guys had to handwrite and you created your own habit trackers and your weekly action plans, the scorecards, and even the daily action plans. In this community, there's templates that you can quickly print for ease and speed. There's other resources as well, downloads, audio trainings, and more, which essentially help with resistance, which we will all go over in step 6 in just a minute. That is a total of at least $6,250. But that's not all that I commit to doing for all the goal architects in the 14-week boot camp. So, because I'm on a mission to make you succeed with the 14-week boot camp, I've committed to going live on Wednesday evenings in the community to go over topics like resistance that come up. There, you can vent frustrations, get support and feedback, and celebrate wins. If you are committed to the boot camp and achieving your goal, then I'm going to reach out and grab your hand and walk right along with you. Okay? That's a value of at least $7,750. And if all you got was what I already went over, would it be worth it to you? Yes. Who would be proud of you if you achieved that goal? How would your life be different in 3 months if it was already done? If your heart is not racing right now, then your goal isn't big enough. And I challenge you to step outside of your comfort zone. In a sprint, in a season, in a quarter, in 90 days, this system can take you from any one of these: procrastination, being stuck, wasting time, feeling down, unfulfilled, unproductive, drifting and aimless, to being a champion, achieving your big goal, transforming your habits and mindset in a season, which will ultimately positively impact your loved ones and your bank account, and become a maverick elite. Can you see the potential? I'm excited to do this together with a group of amazing people, elevating our circle of friends in the process. There is power in that. Can you see how this system can bring you across the finish line? You could achieve your big goal. You could grow in a balanced and holistic way. You could learn to be more disciplined. You could be a better leader. You could own your actions, and you could actually do what you say you're going to do. If all this did was give you the push you need to achieve your big goal, would it be worth it? I've paid $8,000, more than that, for coaching programs like this. You agree that without an investment, you allow comfort to control your actions and you procrastinate and stay stuck? Everything you get here today has a total value of at least $7,750. Get Some More's 14-week boot camp membership is only $1,000. There is a 7-day full money back guarantee, so trust that you have time to sleep on it. Would you agree that if you got all of these things, it would be worth a $1,000 investment to finally achieve your goal? Yes? Well, I have even more bonuses because you signed up for this workshop. Bonuses: lifetime access to the first 10 people. After the first 10 people, lifetime access will close forever, and everyone else will have to pay each cycle of the 14 weeks that they want to join the sprint. I live this boot camp as a lifestyle. I enjoy doing this as a marathon and ordering my life in this way because it's balanced and it makes me feel good about achieving my goals. So it's a feel good all around type of system for me, but I open it up in a way where people can use it to most benefit their lives. Maybe you want to use it as a sprint. Maybe you want to make it a lifestyle. The cool thing is that you get lifetime access if you join, so you can try it out and see what works best for you. Everyone gets a one-on-one strategy call with me. I will personally get on the phone with you and talk to you about your big goal and how you can have the best strategy to achieve that goal in this boot camp. And of course, the certificates. Okay, today you will become a goal architect or an artist, whichever you choose, and I will send you a certificate. Remember, when you graduate, you become a Maverick Elite, which we recall is a powerful definition. The 14 weeks goes like this. On week 1, we have a strategy call and a live call, and you get prepared for the upcoming 12 weeks. Then each week, we get on a live call where we celebrate the people who got hundreds on their scorecards and the people who got lower scores. We can talk about what happened and what opportunities we have next week. The final week, you will come to the call to celebrate and analyze and receive your Maverick Elite certificate and t-shirt. Each week, there will be support in the community and in the course, and you have the templates to quickly print for ease and speed. But Samantha, $1,000 is a lot of money. This system sounds detailed and tedious. I don't have extra time for that. Relax. Would achieving your goal be worth more than $1,000? I sure hope so. I remember, if it doesn't get you excited, then your goal isn't big enough. You have permission to be bold. I couldn't put a price on achieving my first goals, but I know that not a dime of the thousands of dollars that I've ever spent for coaching has ever been wasted because I've always come out learning more than before and changing my perspective and growing. Plus, there's a money back guarantee. And if you know as well as I do that if you don't pay, then you won't show up. Now, about the details. We've been over this already. It's a sprint, it's a season, but we agree that CEOs don't willy nilly run their companies. So, why are we drifting along in our lives? Creating the life that you love is worth putting in some details for a season. Yes or no? And time. We also already agreed that we're on a level playing field with time. Yes? So, how we choose to spend our time is up to us. We can choose to spend it in creating the life we love or waste it, but time can never be replenished. Your money will always be replenished. You will get another paycheck. You will achieve your goal. Money will keep on coming, but wasted time is wasted forever. Do you think that you could commit for a season to potentially change your life? If not, then your goal wasn't big enough, because the real champion knows that the answer is yes. With this boot camp, we will grow close over the 14-week journey together. I know you've heard that elevating your circle is important for success, and this group is a sure way to do that. Become a goal architect or an artist now and graduate to a Maverick Elite in just a season. Obviously, you can see that you will be motivated to perform and that the work that you set out to do. And obviously, it's not guaranteed that you will hit your goal, but you will have a superior chance if you do the work. Last step, step 6, surpassing resistance. Oopsie. The 14-week boot camp is the solution to surpassing resistance. But if you still choose to do this alone, good luck. Let me give you some tips for surpassing resistance. Keep this displayed in an obvious location. At week 3, do not quit. Stick with it. Get week 4 plan and pull yourself through. Remember, only plan actions and not results, so you stay in control. And on rough days, avoid feeling discouraged and remember small wins on your habit tracker for a boost. You are breaking old paradigms and old patterns, and your brain will scream for you to stop. Push through, because the other side is so much brighter. No matter what, if we work together or not, you must know this. It's not easy to change your life. You have to take ownership of what you are in control of and eliminate excuses. Doing things that sow the seeds of goodness and being disciplined, consistent, and intentional in a balanced way is a sure recipe for success any day. You know deep down if this would change your life or not, but only you can make that decision. Have you heard the saying that when it feels scariest to jump, that's exactly when you need to jump? You are always welcome to join the 14-week boot camp. And at any point, each week is structured so that it will serve people in all walks of the boot camp. So please feel free to check back when you want to jump in. But the prices and the bonuses for you guys are for this webinar and this workshop only. Long story short, leading with vision. We have a big 12-week goal. Integrating holistic habits. We know the important areas of our life. We have 1 to 3 actions or habits that we want to incorporate in our morning and evening routines. G, giving value. We have a weekly action plan and we know we're going to give value. H, honor your progress. We have a scorecard. T, time box for impact. Our daily action plan, our daily actions are boxed off with time each week to create time for our most important tasks. And surpassing resistance, you can join the 14-week boot camp and do it together. You have everything you need to create the life you love with confidence and certainty. And you have an invitation to join me for the next 14 weeks to achieve your goal together. Again, this is just the technical part of everything when you get when you join the 14-week boot camp. Click the link if you're ready to transform your life, because this reaches into your life in a holistic and leadership style. You learn to lead yourself and do what you say you're going to do. If I don't see you inside the boot camp, stay in touch. I'll send emails with valuable downloads to help you stay on track with productivity. And if you do join the boot camp and become a goal architect, congratulations. We will be friends soon. I will send you your certificate and I will see you inside the community. Thank you for allowing me to share this L.I.G.H.T.S planning system with you, and I hope that you achieve your big goals.